Hey everybody, let's find out what my chess personality is. Taking the quiz for the first time. All right, we have a position. Which side would you rather play in the following position? Black to move. Okay, what's the count? We have white is down a piece, but has clearly sacked it on d5 for one of these classic open the e file in the Najdorf and let all hell break loose, right? Hashtag Emery Tate. Um, and I know you would normally think this is a Danny position on the white side. I like to attack. So I could go 50-50 here, but I'm going to say 60-40 black because I've actually played a lot of these Niner positions as black. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with B. When you play in tournaments, do you usually score with consistent results or do you often perform on the extremes, either really well or really poorly? Definitely on the extremes. Although, as I've gotten better, one of the things I've recognized is I've become more consistent, able to kind of control my emotions, but inherently, I'm definitely on the extreme side. Which best describes you? Which best describes how you think about this position in the Sveshnikov Sicilian? Black has given up the critical important square d5. Yes, that's me. I play the white side of this. I like long-term positional features in favor for dynamic play that I can't really justify right away. I'm definitely a bigger picture guy, so I'm going to go with white. Which statement is closer to the truth? I bring my best game when facing opponents I dislike. I don't really notice my opponent. I'm definitely an emotional player. If I don't like you, I'm focused. Black has just played g5. Your first instinct is to take on g5 or retreat to g3. My first instinct is definitely to take, especially with the rook on c3. I know you're thinking, Danny, you go both ways. I mean, first you're not sacking, right? And now you are sacking. What are you? You can't have both. First of all, don't tell me what I can't do, aka John Locke style. Don't tell me what I can't do on Lost. I'm going to sack on g5. Do you play gambits? Yes, I do. How would you think about whether or not to take on g5 as white? I would evaluate the placement of the pieces to decide if the attack seemed promising. I would calculate several variations to decide. I'm definitely more intuitive. I'm going to look at the placement of my pieces. I'm going to recognize that if I can't calculate it to checkmate, it's basically a decision on what I feel strategically is in favor for me or not. Do I have enough or not? So I'm an A guy there. Under serious time pressure, you are more likely to miss a tactic, move pieces aimlessly. Definitely more likely to miss a tactic. Which of these ideas do you prefer for white? White should trade bishops and put a strong knight on d4, which will prevent any counterplay from black, doubling the rooks on the c-file and c2. That feels like me. I like that. Again, I'm back to that bigger picture positional thing. To me, this is similar to the Sveshnikov. Or white should push d4, temporarily misplacing black's dark square bishop, and then get in a tempo with f5. Oh, wow. I didn't realize how strong f5 was. Chopalicious, chopalicious. Push that pawn to f5 and get randy, right? You know what I'm talking about. Danger's always been my middle name. But I don't know. I feel like in this case, here's why I'm going to go with take on c5 and knight d4. Because f5 isn't going anywhere for a while. I'm eating a Snickers right now in my head. You ever seen Hook where they're just like having fun, imagining that there's food on the table? That's how I live my life up here, is imagining that there's food on the table. If I take c5 and play knight d4, I get my positional edge, and f5 hasn't gone anywhere. So that's why I'm going to go with that. Okay, that's the way I think about it. You should start the game out with 1d4. Would you rather? Oh, you start the game with 1d4. Would you rather your opponent play d5 or f5? Definitely f5. Let's get freaky. Let's get freaky with it, right? You know what I'm talking about? You have been ahead by a pawn for most of the game, but after tough resistance from your opponent, you only have 5 minutes left in this position. Should you play on or offer your opponent a draw? Definitely play on. You got to be kidding me. Which statement comes closest to your feelings? It's always a joy to be paired with someone you've crushed in the past. The odds of winning are slightly higher against opponents one has previously beaten. No, I crushed people in the past. What? I don't understand that question. With plenty of time on your clock, what would you do in this position? I'd rock his world. Trade on e6 and play rook d7 with the endgame is good for white, and I can kind of push. I'm the only one with winning chances there on the 7th rank. Or invest some serious time calculating knight takes e6 and see if it achieves anything concrete. That's like do you take e6 because you're kind of playing for 2 results in that rook ending, or do you not give up your good knight versus bad bishop advantage unless you're sure you have something concrete? I'm definitely in favor of you don't make changes to a position unless you have something concrete. So strategically, it's kind of against my nature. But again, as I've gotten better, I feel like I've been able to play positions with smaller advantages like knight takes e6 and play for more 2 results kind of thing. I don't know what to go with on this, but I'm going to go with what first got me here, which is B. Okay, don't make trades unless you're sure it improved you. What do you think of the famous saying, chess is 99% tactics? I actually disagree with that. I feel like it's a famous saying, but you know what? A lot more to chess than just tactics. How do you feel about this wild gambit line for black? Yeah, I'm trying to. This is too much. I'm trying to lose. I'm not an opening gambit go crazy guy, all right? I want my long term compensation, all right? I want to feel nice and cozy while you give me a drink by the fire. Don't put me out in the wilderness where I had to make a good fire to survive. You get what I'm talking about? After losing a game, have you ever been broken or something yelled out? Yeah, yes. Wait, did I just say that on camera? Yes, I did. White to play in castle? Don't tell me what to do. Oh, absolutely, queenside. Yes, please. Which is closer to the truth? I get excited or nervous before a game. I don't worry about prizes. I definitely get excited or nervous. If I just said anything else, I'd be lying. How would you come up with a plan in this position as white? Consider the strengths and weaknesses of black's position and decide where my pieces feel best. I would calculate some line for white to see how strong various possibilities are. I don't know what I do. Probably the first. I consider the strengths and weaknesses, decide where my pieces feel best, rather than because I don't believe you can calculate everything in a lot of those positions. So I'm like an intuitive, attacking kind of guy, So I'm going to go with A again. Which is harder for you to do? Identify advantages in building a plan or trade a good position for a strong attack? It's definitely the second one. I feel like I'm good at that sort of gather the essence, take stock in the position, recognize where my pieces are, and go with it. Where am I? Who am I? Dun, dun, dun. Drum roll, please. Brrr. I'm a grinder? Something has happened to me, everybody. I have changed. I have evolved as a human being. Last time I did this, I was Bobby Fischer or Ivanchuk. Now I'm a grinder. Grinders are players with an unassuming style that can't hide just how intent they are on winning. Yes! Look at me, everybody. I'm growing up. I'm growing up. See what you are. Go to chesspersonality.com and take the quiz. See if you find out. Maybe you're a chess player who surprises you. I'm shocked right now. I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to go look up Karpov's best games, and I'm going to become a better chess player. I challenge you to do the same. Have fun, everyone.